Wide test. Wide test. Wide
Wide
test.
Wide test.
Lean out as far as you can.
Wide testicles.
Bollocks. Right, audio test.
Audio test.
Audio test.
Audio test.
I'm gonna try and fart. Alright, Elton.
Alright, you bell.
So yeah, we're on our way to Motorland Aragon.
Aragon.
With a speciale in the Putti.
And the Nuovo 16. 916.
Was that actually Italian?
No.
Oh.
I think it's half Spanish, half Italian.
Sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
And we're somewhere in France, and it's pretty boring, and we've kind of exhausted the pleasantries between ourselves, so I thought we'd maybe get you guys involved and do a little van vlog. A van vloggus. That was great. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Well, bye for now. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. We slept in a B&B last night.
Not an actual B&B, I hasten to add.
No, it would have been
it's like B&B's like an upmarket kind of Ibis, isn't it?
Upmarket?
Yeah.
You think that was better than an Ibis?
Like an Ibis budget? Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Basically, when you got there, you didn't even have a key. You had to get a code through a door, like step over the dead prostitutes, sweep up the blood, and get into your room.
And I did put a fair few pubes off my bed. And I had to clean the seat as well. There was still splatters of poo around it.
It did smell of poo. Anyway, but it was 45 quid, so you know, when needs must. Yeah, we've got a £35,000 motorbike in the back, but you know, we're balling when it comes to our hotel choices.
93 k's from Bordeaux.
Yes. Yeah, so we're on our way to do the. You may have even seen it by now. I don't know if it comes out. No.
Oh no, I thought you meant socials. No.
So we're on our way to do a 25 years of Ducati, I guess. 25 years on.
Well, yeah, I suppose you could call that, because the 916 was the game changer, not just for Ducati, but for motorcycling in general, wasn't it? That was like the daddy.
I mean, I didn't like bikes. I didn't even know bikes really existed when that bike was out. So I didn't experience it firsthand.
No, you were more interested in sort of champagne and caviar and other delicacies.
I don't like caviar.
No, it's a bit too upmarket.
It's just fucking cold fish eggs, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's disgusting. But the 916 is actually my 916. This is
soon to be ours.
Soon to be ours. Yeah. So it's the first time it's really had a good run. It's been on the road. I bought some Dimag carbon fibre wheels for it, which I'm very excited.
Yeah, I was a little bit. When you said you were getting Dimags, I thought, oh god, it's going to ruin it. But they look so good,
daddy, don't they? Yeah, they fit perfectly with that bike. So it's going to be interesting to see, because obviously those old wheels, the old 3-spokes, would have been made of pig iron, and if you're going to upgrade wheels on a bike, some of the more modern stuff, like if you've got a brand new RSV4, you're not going to probably notice that much difference going to a carbon wheel. But an older bike like that, it's going to change massively. So I'm looking forward to that. Although it didn't start yesterday, so we had to buy a battery on the way to the port.
For 85 million
For 85 quid from Ducati, yeah.
Which, interestingly, the same battery you can get from JHS or any other local dealer for like 40, 50 quid.
Yeah. But it's got Ducati. It doesn't even say Ducati on it, actually. No. I need to trim my nasal hair. Do you get bad nasal hair?
Yeah.
A girl I was trying to chat up years ago, like long time ago. I did manage to get in there later, but she was talking to, because I was friends with her friend, and they, behind my back, called me Hoover nostrils.
What, because I had the big nose?
No, because you know when you look up the underside of a Hoover, it's got those bristles. But thanks for the big nose comment, fucking bald-headed.
I'd rather be bald than have to go through what you have to go through.
Like what?
Fucking...
What?
Pomade and like the constant refinement.
I will say it isn't. No, I haven't used any pomade today. I literally just got up. I promise you, straight hand through the hair. But it is annoying. Like hair is definitely annoying on motorbikes. Like definitely annoying.
Yeah.
Because whenever you put your helmet on, there's always a bit, and then if it's at the length mine's at, you get a little bit which just sort of taps you in the eye.
Yeah.
Fucking. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of hand sand.
So literally, as we're talking, the Ducati live world premiere's going on. We're getting bits through live as we speak. You can't see them. The Kawasaki ZH2 just been announced, which has been unveiled.
What a pig.
I mean, the bike is going to be an absolute banger, but again, what Kawasaki doing with the styling department? I love your analysis last year was it looks like the bike's been dropped into a prosthetics factory.
it does.
And that was with the H2SX, and now with the ZH2.
It's even worse.
That is horrendous.
The SX is a fucking Cameron Diaz compared to this.
Yeah. But then we got obviously the Street Fighter V4 from Ducati and the 959 replacement. Apparently it's going to be called the Ducati V2. Not sure yet, but yeah, lots of new stuff to look forward to next year.
That's interesting. They're calling it the V2.
Yeah.
Okay, so they'll have a V2 Panigale and a V4 Panigale.
So my guess, and I think everyone's guess, is going to be obviously Euro 5, so it'd be bigger cubes. Yeah. I think it'd be ironic. It would be called the 999. They wouldn't call it the 999. They couldn't call that. They couldn't call it the 999.
Or the 998.
No, or the 996. So yeah, the V2 Superbike.
Do you think the V4 Street Fighter is going to be a banger?
Yeah. I think that chassis and that engine, I think the whole dynamic will suit a Street Fighter better.
Yeah.
The Panigale R, the race bike, is a race bike. And obviously, it's very quick. But the other bikes, the bikes that me and you ride, and you guys ride, or can ride, they're amazing. I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, weren't we? They're so enjoyable, so involving, and so to ride. But they're not necessarily the fastest, and that's what makes them feel so good in today's kind of blunted.
Yeah, so you put that into a Street Fighter.
Yeah. Naked
box,
chassis. Yeah.
And it's a Super Duke R, basically.
Yeah. It's going to be incroyable.
Incroyable.
Oui.
We were talking yesterday on the way down about the sort of the clinicalness of modern bikes, like how they're just it's all becoming a little bit sterile, and it's a bit, yes, if you're going to do a job on a bike and commute on it every day, you want to have all this just cornering ABS and safety stuff and Euro 5, whatever, you just want to get to work and filter through traffic. But there's going to come a point where it just becomes not enjoyable anymore, isn't there?
I don't agree with that at all. Because, I mean, yes, look, we talk. You ride a bike to commute. That's
yes, and lots of people do.
Yeah,
but it's
okay,
nowhere
but
near.
It's
nowhere near. Okay, but I'm just saying, it's nowhere near. The amount of commuters is nowhere near the amount of hobbyists.
No, true. And I will say, for instance, the BMW S1000RR, the new one.
Yeah.
It's almost too good. Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so easy to ride, but there's something about it at the moment that still maintains a connection and a kind of realism.
Yeah, that bike is exciting because it's so good, and it's so exciting because you think, how can this possibly do it?
Yeah.
But it's a bit clinical.
I think, and this is why, if you said to me, right, you had 20 grand to spend on a bike, so tomorrow I go and buy an RD 500 or an RG 500. RG me. I don't want to go. You're not setting that records. You're not. On the roads today in the UK are shite.
Yeah.
They're not conducive to going fast on a bike anymore. Your license is in danger. Your lives in danger, etc. Don't get me wrong. I still love riding on the road, but you don't want a 220 horsepower superbike.
The problem with that is, again, they're so good that 80 mile an hour on that S1000RR feels boring as fuck, doesn't it? Because you've got to be doing well
Couple
over
figures.
100 to go, oh, this is exciting, because it's so bloody capable.
And that is why, if I had 10 grand, you can get a decent R&D or an RG 500 for 10 grand, right? So
It's a lot of money, though.
It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. But that's what I go and buy. Not only is it an investment, it's exciting. Yes, it's a pain in the arse now and again, but just you can just ride around, the smell, the sound.
Well, I mean, a good example is in the back.
Yes,
We've got a £35,000 V4 Speciale and a £6,000 916.
Yeah.
So that's £29,000 difference. And then, on the road, actually, which one makes you feel more fulfilled? Arguably, whichever one. There's not much in it, is there?
No, there's not.
Because it's a romance around the 916.
A romance.
And the throttle, the way those older throttles work, it's so light on that bike. It's like, oh, it's there, it's right there, and you haven't got so much power that you need to feather the throttle on the road, going, oh my god, am I going to spin up the rear and high side it into a bush? Those older bikes, or the slightly slower bikes, it's more involving, isn't it?
But I will say, going back to the Panigale thing, that those two bikes in the back, it's almost the worst example, because the Panigale is the most exciting, involving, raucous, badass mudder trucker that you could buy. So that in comparison with say for instance a 94 Kawasaki and a 2019-2020 ZX10, yes, of course you'd have the old one in terms of that sort of retro style and feel good factor. But in terms that Panigale is so different to anything else out there.
Yeah. And here's an interesting point as well on the Euro emissions shittery
scandal. Yeah.
Is that yes, all the new bikes have to be Euro 5 and you have to do all this stuff. It's still more friendly to the environment to go and buy an old 2-stroke smoker and run that than it is to manufacture a brand new motorcycle, regardless of Euro 5, 6, 7 or 10. It doesn't mean shit. Just fix the old one.
Yeah, Greta.
Yeah. Again, another foible of modern ridiculous vehicles, limp modes. If there's a problem with that 916, which there is, it doesn't start at the moment, and the speedo drive's gone and the neutral light's out, you go, oh, that's the problem. I know what it is. It's fine. Problem with the Ducati, it'll go stop. The new one, it'll all be like, wait, something seriously wrong here. So, well, it's not that wrong. It's just I can't see the speed. You sort it out, don't you?
And so, talking of new bikes, then, I mean, the Honda range. Really looking forward to this new 5-blade. Apparently, it's going to be amazing.
Active Aero, apparently.
Active Aero, not going to be a V4, but still. And it's going to be unveiled in EICMA, which is a bit of a strange one. I thought it'd be at the Tokyo show this week, but anyway, another story. What Aero have done with the VFR 1200 engine is an example of what manufacturers and smaller I mean, yes, this is the issue. Mass production, that cannot be done, can it?
No.
Because of the way with the exhaust.
You have to comply to laws
exactly.
and do stuff.
But obviously, Aero being a small manufacturer and the numbers they produce, I think it's about 100, 150. I don't know the exact numbers, but obviously you don't have to conform to certain DVSA, DVLA bits and bobs. So you can run a fairly open exhaust, blah, blah, blah. But it's not just the exhaust. Obviously the sound makes it better, but and I'm not suggesting Honda could build anything like the Aerial because of the frame and the amount of finite work and detail that goes into it. But it's just an example of what could be done with that engine.
Yeah, and it's absolutely adequate. Like there's you definitely don't want any more power.
No.
So it sounds great. It's a perfect unit.
Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, Honda could make that, but the problem is, as you said, the numbers to conform. But it all comes down to, and this is what a lot of people need to understand when they see a new bike and go, oh, why hasn't it got this on it? Why hasn't it got that on it? It all comes down to how expensive it is to build.
Yeah.
Because they would have once the bike is conceived, they'll go, right, we need this bike to be in this window of, you know, £9,000 to £10,000. That's what we've got to achieve. I'm sure the first prototype bikes were better and amazing, but by the time it got to retail, it'd be 30 grand.
Yeah.
And then no one's going to buy it, or everyone will moan about it and say, oh, it's too expensive. So you have to go, right, well, what can we take off? What can we sacrifice? And it just becomes like, I'm sure lots of you have day jobs where, you know, you get involved in projects and it always starts off amazing, then a client gets involved or finance come in and go, oh, you can't do that, and it all just gets filtered down to shit, and then you end up with a mediocre product. But that's the way life is.
Yeah. But again, you know, yes, I know we talked about it briefly, but the you know, KTM are a good example of this, where they put out that prototype and you go, oh my god, and then of course, not just cost, but the rules and regs for becoming a road bike, like the 790 Duke.
Perfect
you know,
example.
that scalpel that we saw in Milan. I mean,
with the underbody exhaust,
what
like, beautiful
a bike!
Thing. Yeah.
What a bike! If only, you know, and it's only laws stopping them build that. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It sounds.
Thanks, Juncker.
Yeah.
What's your favourite road snack?
I do like the Emmentaler cheese twists that I've demolished yesterday. They are exquisite. Only found in France.
Where was that? When did you get one of those?
Yesterday, when we stopped in the servo. I had those cheesy bell snacks.
Oh, okay.
In fact, they're in there somewhere.
So I was actually thinking of pastry.
Oh, pastry?
No. I thought you were describing a pastry. They fucking stink, though, I'll tell you that.
Does smell like your cock.
It smells nicer than my cock.
Yeah.
Crusties.
Crusties, yeah.
Crustiles.
I mean, a French baguette. A good French baguette.
Yeah.
Ham and cheese.
Yeah. And there's something nice about French bread.
Yeah.
Now, we say we have French bread in England. Oh, I'm going to get a baguette. But if you buy a baguette in France, it's baked in the morning and it's a rock by the evening.
Yeah.
It's fresh. There's no shit in it. Buy one in England, it lasts like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
It's shit. And that's why when you eat it, you get all bloated. Like, I don't get bloated through French baguettes.
No.
And unsalted butter. I don't know why we have to have salted butter.
No, it's got to be salted butter.
Oh, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you need to add salt to it?
Salt tastes better with everything, doesn't it?
No, it doesn't.
It does. I had a really bad deja vu then.
What, that bloke?
Well, just waving and then you talking to me and I just,
I had a theory about deja vu. So, deja vu to me, this is going to get a bit spiritual and weird.
Yeah. Go on.
Well, what do you think deja vu is?
I thought, when I first started getting deja vu, I thought it was me nearing the end of my life. So I get flashes of things, and then the more they happen, the closer they happen, in frequency, the closer I was to dying. That's what I thought.
Okay, interesting. See, I think I put a more positive spin on it.
Really?
For me, which is amazing.
Bloody hell.
So I think I find deja vu, if you have lots of deja vus, that you're on the right path in life, and you should have been there. That's what you should be doing, and it may be insignificant,
okay, I
like
really
waving,
like that.
like waving at the thing. So when you get it, it's like, okay, I'm on the right track.
Okay,
it's where I should be.
I really like that.
I haven't had it in years.
McDonald's fries or BK fries?
McDonald's fries.
Good. That's the right answer.
By quite a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't understand wrong'uns who say
they're too fat, the BK ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought you were going to ask me like a profound life question.
Oh, right.
But it was about chips.
Yeah.
What's your favourite item of clothing?
Well, currently or ever?
Ever.
Oh, that's a really difficult question. I think my spliffy jeans when I was 15, they were pretty...
I had some blue bolts.
Did you?
Yeah.
I had lots of blue bolts, yeah.
Mine were green.
Yeah?
Yeah, disgusting.
Blue bolts. We had a shop in Yeovil. It was called The Cave. And I spent, I reckon, the last couple of years of my secondary school years buying every single item of clothing from there. I was working on a farm at the time, and I had a paper round every day.
What were you doing on the farm?
Mucking out.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Cleaning up shit?
Yeah, with a tractor.
Okay. Okay.
And I reversed the tractor into a slurry pit. Well, nearly did, and it was literally balancing, teetering on the edge. And I tell you what, if it had gone, I'd somehow managed to get off the front. The scraper had dropped in. The back wheels were literally on an edge, like on a platform just below. I would have been dead. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't be here today if things didn't work out the way they did. But anyway, so yeah, I was working on a farm, mucking out shit, and like 2 or 3 days a week, and then a paper round. So get up 6:30 every morning, cycle a mile, do the round, another mile, and yeah.
I did a paper round once, and
for a day.
No, I had a paper round, and one day I decided, this was 80s, so this would have been roller discos were well in.
Really? What was this? The 60s?
80s.
80s?
Do you remember Bauer roller skates?
Yeah.
And Graf roller skates?
No, I remember Bauer.
Anyway, so I there were, all I wanted was this pair of Bauer roller skates. And I finally got them for birthday or something. I was like, oh my god, amazing. And I thought, I'm going to do my paper round on roller skates. Brilliant. And then, so, got all my stuff. And then after about the third house, I quickly realised that most people had gravel driveways. So then I ended up just having to walk
really loudly.
These massive roller skates on. Oh god.
How old were you? 21?
No, yeah, I don't even know. I was pretty young. And then after like about 2 hours into it, I'd only got like a quarter of the way round, and I asked someone to borrow their telephone to bring my mum to come and get me.
Wow.
With some shoes, and then she drove me round and finished the paper round. Thanks, Mum. What's the worst job you've ever had?
I would say, I mean, from the area I lived in, we did the village I lived in at the time. Everyone worked at the cheese factory. Shout out to the Barber's cheese. You probably had Barber's cheese. I stirred that cheese. I packed the cheese. I was the cheese meister. But because it was such a social, we used to go in the car park at lunchtime, smoke a few bongs,
and then stir the cheese. And eat cheese,
get them on cheese. And it was a good time because lots of our friends went there because it was a social. But I'll definitely, at the time, I'd probably say some agency work I did was I worked in a plastics factory in Crewkern, and that was bad. Like minimum wage, just
badness.
Just bad. Badness. I mean, I've had lots of shit jobs, but I wouldn't say a bin man is a refuse rescuer.
What do they call it? At least you get handsomely rewarded for it.
I was going to say, I mean, the money was incredible. We started 6, finish at like 1 o'clock, and get paid till 4 or 5. It was really, it was good. Good times.
You just throw all this rubbish on the street anyway.
Exactly. Yeah, and you get the Christmas tips. People love a bin man.
Yeah, these days I don't think
it's not the same, is it?
It's not the same. There's no community anymore.
No.
What was my worst job? The hardest one, physically, was beer delivery. In like the massive
for a brewery.
Yeah. Wow, that was tough. Like, they're heavy enough, the barrels, without fucking shit in it. But the big Guinness ones, like the double jobs, wow, heavy. I was a kitchen porter, so like a washer-upper at Pizza Express. Oh, Pizza Express. We should talk about that later.
Yeah, let's talk about it now.
Okay, but yeah, I was a washer-upper at Pizza Express because I wanted to be a waiter, and then we don't have any openings as waiters, but you can start in the kitchen, and when a job comes open, you can have it. I was like, okay, fine. I remember just like chiseling off the lasagna plates, and then it'd be like, Chris, someone's been sick in the toilet. Can you clear it up, please? And then coming in really hungover or whatever, and having to pick like spaghetti out of plug holes and stuff. It was just rough. But Pizza Express, the recent news of it being in trouble, how I'm desperately sad about that.
Yeah.
And it's a good example of like,
greed.
Of greed, yeah. There was nothing. I don't know. To be fair, I haven't looked that much into it, so I may be a bit wrong.
But it's not rocket science.
It's not rocket science. Pizza Express was doing really well. Successful company, brilliant. Then some like venture capital type cunts come in there, And they're like, right, we want to put a Pizza Express here. Because have you seen it going into service stations
Yeah,
and stuff like that?
Yeah. Next to a bloody Premier Inn in a M42 services.
Yeah, it's like, well, why would, I don't know, it's not quick, like,
No,
you
it's
don't
not.
sit down for a pizza.
No.
Anyway, so, and they're like,
It
let's
loses
just-
the romance of it. Like,
Yeah.
Pizza Express in towns, it used to be good, but, you know...
it was a perfect first date spot.
Yeah.
Like, reasonable price, you know what you're going to get,
Yeah.
easy, everyone likes fucking pizza.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, so, and it's like, oh, you know, this constant modern affliction we have to keep pushing, make everything better, let's make it more successful, let's dominate, let's do this.
Yeah.
No, it was successful, brilliant little chain on its own anyway, and it wasn't little either, it was still massive. Why mess with it? In the name of greed, ultimately, isn't it? And there's so many examples. Thomas Cook is probably like that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs entirely
I think
of
it's
that.
that may be slightly different.
Maybe.
Yeah, people like Ryanair might have butchered them.
Well,
But it's someone
no,
more
because last year, I saw a graph in the Financial Times the other day.
Oh yeah.
And it was about the ratio between debt and profit. And there was a point about a year and a half ago where the debt just absolutely skyrocketed because
Right.
they bought a load of other companies.
Yeah, okay.
So again, it's just some greedy fucking arseholes.
Yeah. Who have made some money out of that. That's the thing.
And they've gone, oh well, it's closed now, we're off.
Oh well, there's 30 million. Cheers, guys.
And it's just, listen, like, success, that word needs to be evaluated. Like, what makes someone successful ultimately is happiness.
Yeah.
It's not money. It's not achievement, although achievement can make you happy, so therefore you would become happy.
The two are tied. Yeah.
Into what?
The two are tied. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that's all it is. Success is happiness.
What's your favourite pizza?
I mean, it's a classic. It's a Pizza Express La Reine.
Oh, mate. With a thin base. What are they called?
The Romana.
The Romana, yes.
I
Yeah.
do. I must say, I prefer the denser standard base. Although recently I've been having the Leggera base, which
Super
is the one
Leggera.
where well, it's light.
Yeah.
It's a salad in the middle.
Salad.
So it's like a big donut
Right. Okay.
with a salad in
Yeah,
the middle.
okay. I mean,
And they've started making
that's
that
not a
out
pizza,
of well,
It's not.
they've started making that out of a gluten-free base as well, which is pretty good.
I think you can definitely overdo a pizza. I love a meat feast, but when you go to, you know, the chains, Pizza Express, wherever else, you can easily ruin it by having something too exotic on there.
Yeah.
You have your ham, your cheese, your mushrooms, your onions.
Yeah.
Job done.
I did go through a stage of having a giardiniera, which is the vegetarian one, with pepperoni. Very nice. Everyone always looked at me a bit weird.
It's not pizza.
Well, it is pizza.
It's not.
And if you have pineapple on it, you should be shot in the
Yeah,
face.
definitely.
Fat Hawaiian singer. Yeah, it is him. You got the credit card, buddy.
Oh, péage.
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 But here's a question. Would you prefer,
A longer route.
no,
No.
the roads as good as these in the UK, but you have to pay for them? I would, personally.
I don't know. Shush.
Is that yapping fucking dog? Shut up.
Shut up.
Shut up, you French Chan. Jackie Chan. The Kung Fu dog from France.
Is that the Dwayne dogs? Sniffer dogs?
No, they'd be beaten for that. A bit further. Stop.
€50? Buy some more t-shirts, please, guys.
So I'm sure my friend wouldn't mind saying this. Well, I don't know, I haven't checked with him actually, but whatever.
Are you going to make an example of it?
I'm going to make an example
Yeah.
of him. So my friend and YouTuber Joe Achilles, he does lots of car videos, mainly on BMWs, but also other bits and bobs. We'll put a link in the description so you can go check out his videos, subscribe. He's a good lad, he's a really good bloke, and he can actually drive a car, which is interesting and more than most people can. So he's just been through a massively long court case where he put a video on Facebook with an external camera on the back of an Audi R8, I think it was, and drove spiritedly, not stupid, but spiritedly, and some like police guy decided to see it. He saw it and decided, right, I'm having him. And the police must have spent, I reckon, in the region of £100,000 with specialists who went up, mapped the road, measured it exactly, broke the whole journey down into sections, saying this speed was this speed, this speed was this speed.
Using reference points.
Using reference points, even though...
And taxpayers' money.
Even though the video was sped up a little bit. I'm sure, I hope you won't mind me saying that. Most videos are on YouTube anyway, ours aren't.
Some of them are.
But based on a Facebook video, that prosecution was being brought. Now, he then got a summons to talk about it. He was like, well, what do we do? And the court advised him to get a video specialist involved to combat the evidence. And the evidence from the prosecution side was like, it was a 100-page document of
dossier.
It was insane. So he had to go away, find an independent video specialist. Cost him £8,000 to do that. And then when he submitted that evidence, whatever, back, the court said, "Oh no, we were not going to accept that because we don't think the guy you got is relevant." And they said, "Well, hang on, you told me to go and get him. I spent £8,000." Anyway, went to court. The day before it went to court was the last day they could submit their final, I don't know, something, and they did it on that on purpose. So it wouldn't.
What a bell end!
Well, just calm down.
I mean, you may be driving a truck, mate. That doesn't give you the right to be a cock.
And so they waited till the last 5 o'clock on the last day to submit this piece of evidence. So hopefully the court didn't have time to answer. They sent a guy up north that night to go and measure out the road again, exact point to point, all the references. I stayed up all night doing it and produced a document and was in court at 9 a.m. the next day, down south again. So they wanted him bad. There was a paparazzi outside the court.
No.
Yeah. So how did that happen? So they were literally set to try and make an example of someone.
Just fuck off.
I mean, it turned out all right with him. He's probably doing a video on his channel, so you go and have a look. But you know, the net result is we cannot ride bikes on the road spiritedly anymore.
Not with cameras on. No.
Not on camera, because you are inviting a whole world of pain. All it takes is one disjointed, mentally unstable bloke to go, hang on, I think it's worth spending £100,000 to give this bloke 6 points, rather than
with taxpayers' money,
rather than dealing with stabbings and actual stuff that does matter to people. And fair enough if he crashed and did something and killed someone,
dangerous driving,
or whatever. But
and I'm sorry, and this might offend a few people.
Good,
but and I don't want to bring up any nasty memories or history, but speed ultimately doesn't kill people.
No, it's stopping
Idiots
really quickly.
And bell ends kill people.
Yeah, and it's the same with the middle lane people that just I mean, we're in France now, beautiful road etiquette, apart from that bloke in the lorry. Yeah, and people just get on with it, whereas in the UK, like, that's what encourages people to tailgate. It's like, oh, I've been tailgated for so long, oh my god. It's probably because you're just sat in the lane and not getting out the fucking way. And that's what makes people frustrated and go fast, and then they may do something wrong because they're eggy because of the rules and shit.
And of course, Bruce Smart, Teapot 1, you know?
Teapot 1.
He's having the same issues.
But,
he's been suspended, the poor bugger.
Yeah.
You know? And he ironically,
unpaid.
He's out there, unpaid. He's out there saving lives and keeping Britain safe. Yeah. And he's been suspended.
And but you know why? So he got in trouble. The same sort of thing. Yeah. A GoPro thing.
The local council.
Yeah, but the speedo was blurred.
Yeah.
So he didn't get in trouble for speeding. He got in trouble for blurring the speedo because it questioned his integrity as a police officer.
Oh my god.
And it's like, just fuck off. Have you not got anything better to fucking do? Seriously? The world needs to fucking sort itself out. That is why we're in this situation with these stupid reactions to things, because 5% of people who are fucking idiots on Twitter decide to shout about it. Companies see that and go, oh, we must change that. They forget about the 95% who don't care. It's that 5% of people.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying ultimately is we need bigger things to worry about to get rid of all the little stupid shit.
I agree to some
like
extent. It's like a reality check. I get that, but I would say I wouldn't. Yeah, we need a reality check, sure. Yeah, but I don't think that's necessarily the right phrase. I'll tell you what we need to do first is look. I'm not going to argue against climate change. That needs to happen. You know, there needs to be big changes, sure. But what I don't agree with is acid heads and the great unwashed going out there and demonstrating in London.
No. And gluing themselves
to the floor, and I'm just fuck off, mate.
Well,
sorry.
It's in my local town. I walked past it yesterday morning. There was a nice old, hundreds of years old building, done nothing wrong. In the grand scheme of things, probably quite ecological because it's been there so long, hasn't been rebuilt, hasn't been knocked down, imported with steel, all that shit. Anyway, on the side of it, graffitied, climate change now. And you're like, what a fucking idiot. So you used an aerosol with chemicals to spray a wall where somebody's got to come and use more petrochemicals to clean it up and sort it out on a very innocent wall on a 300-year-old building.
Well done.
Well done. And again, this other thing, you can't say that. Why not? If someone doesn't like it, then fine. Say, just don't listen to me anymore. There's a button down there that says, I don't like this person. I'm not going to listen anymore. Why do you? Just because it offends you, you don't have to go, that offends me, I need you to apologise. Fuck off. I'm not apologising for anything. You fuck off. I mean, I genuinely respect women, but right now I just want to go and find a whorehouse.